here before 5:30, ready to go. I was sitting with Streamlabs open for an hour, like I normally do before we get started, and of course Alex joins and we have no audio. So thank you for your patience. To the few of you that watch, I'm excited. Grand Prix week. Hungary, it is a track with little passing, but over the past few years has given us some really great races. So I know personally I'm excited. Alex, what do you think about this circuit? Fan, not a fan? How would you rate it? What do you think?
It's all right. Definitely not one of my favorites, but it's like mid tier, I guess.
All right. Yeah, so we got what, 23 races this year, I think it is. We in the top 11 and a half or in the bottom?
I think it's our 11th race, so
Yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah.
almost halfway.
No. Where are
We
we rating it out of our races this year?
oh, top 11 and a half. Oh, wow.
Yeah, is it
So
in the
far this year, or am I
No,
am I
is the
am I getting
track in
a
your
guess?
top half
The
favorite or
track.
your bottom half favorite?
I would say everyone in the U.S. sucks except for Austin.
Okay.
I'd probably put bottom half.
Bottom half?
I'd
Okay.
have to think bottom half. Yeah, Brazil, Silverstone. Yeah, I'd have to go bottom half probably.
Yeah, I've seen some races here be exciting, but I've seen plenty that have been boring if it's like a very normal, straightforward um, day. So I get that. I haven't done this in a week or two. I always like to pick on Alex here a little bit. Alex, most wins. Who has it?
Senna,
Nope.
Hamilton,
Yep. How many?
five,
Higher.
7,
Higher.
8.
8 wins by
Okay.
LH. Yeah. LH has owned this track. Constructor wins. Shoot.
Ferrari,
No.
McLaren.
You second guess. Let's go. I was like, I'm gonna have to know him 3 or 4 times here. Take a shoot. How many?
Okay, so I'm assuming Senna probably got one. It's got to be 9,
Higher, double digits.
14,
Lower,
12,
lower.
11.
Yeah, 11 wins by McLaren. Um, so yeah, a lot of the few times me and Alex have done this, and I've teased him about constructor wins. It's pretty much been Ferrari. I feel like so. It's interesting to see McLaren with the lead there. Obviously, you're like Hamilton.
Historically a strong team. I'm
Yeah,
waiting until a Williams track. We gotta wait for a
what's that?
Williams track. That's gonna be funny. A Williams track. A
Oh
Williams
yeah,
definitely needs. They definitely gotta have one. That's a few of them.
I like that. That's a good point. I like that you just brought that up. That's a good. That's a good point. We'll go over our last 5 winners real quick. Last year, Max Verstappen wins, spins out in the race, early donuts. He wins. 2021 is the famous Esteban Ocon win. Lewis Hamilton is in first place and does not pit on inters, and literally the whole field pits after it was during a red flag. No. Yeah. No.
Yeah, it was a
No.
red.
Yeah.
It was a red flag because everybody went for pits. Lewis had it was full. It was full restart.
Yeah, and Lewis was the only driver on the grid, so that was pretty interesting. He worked his way up to finish second or third that day. But 2020, 2019, and 2018 are all won by the man Lewis Hamilton. So he's he's on this track pretty much. We're gonna have some fun today picking who we think is going to be in the top 5. Man, one thing that really stinks about our show being on a Monday is I feel like we got off last week and then big news hit during the week, and then we don't get to chat about it until like it's like such old news. I'm like we can't even clip this and
Yeah,
people.
but it's like hit or miss though. Because at the same time, like if we have like a Grand Prix weekend, there's a lot to talk about that we got to get out the way. And if we just wait, everybody's stories already out there and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I like your. You know what? Way to think of that glass half full, Alex. I appreciate that. I need that after our technical difficulties.
We'll be all
Yeah,
right.
Alex. Let him know. Let him know what that big news is, brother. Tell him what happened this week.
We got the honey badger making a return. Now, while
Yes.
I'm excited about it, you can't help but feel for Nick. I know he's had a rough season. This is also famous Red Bull. They love to just get rid of the drivers the young guys, even though Nick is like 28, something like that. But
Yeah.
happy to see Ricciardo back on the grid. I couldn't see anywhere else where he would fit. I'm glad he got somewhere. Probably the worst car on the grid, though.
Yep. Yep.
So
Absolutely.
I hope fans aren't expecting a point finish. I see like a P18,
A P18.
P16.
Well, you
I'll
walked
go
me right in.
P16. I'll go
You walk.
P16.
Wow, you walked me right into it. Okay. Well, if someone can keep track of this in the chat here, Alex is saying P16. I want to say P12, but I'll say P13 because don't act like Yuki hasn't been P10, P11
Oh,
before.
he has, but the
So
last
like,
few everybody also brought a bunch of upgrades. The last few races, Alpha Tauri's been at the bottom of the grid for most of it. Danny Rick, I know, I guess he looked impressive in the Red Bull in the RB19 or whatever, but at the same time, it's the RB19. Like,
yeah, that
everyone other than Checo could probably look impressive in that car right now. And then,
that was that was the rumor was that Horner called Marco to let him know Danny Rick's
yeah,
times, and then apparently Marco
yeah.
sacked DeVries after that.
I think that's so cap. I think Marco had this in the works for a little bit of time. Yeah, like, he's not just gonna. I mean, I don't know. Knowing Marco, he's very impulsive, so maybe it was true, but
Yeah,
I think it was in the works for a little bit.
yeah. I don't know how I feel about that story, but it's kind of savage one
It's funny.
regardless. Yeah,
Yeah.
it would almost make for like a good movie. Brad Pitt should add it to the movie he's working on. All right, but Alex is say that's what you're saying. What are you saying? P16 or P18? What are you saying?
I'm going P16. I'll go P16.
P16. I'll go higher. I'll go P13 just because it's Danny Rick. Why not? Yeah, but that's interesting because like so now who's Red Bull's reserve driver? Um, I mean Danny Rick was carrying a lot of weight for the like social media stuff and honestly just the funny side of that team. So he'll obviously have to be doing that for his own team now. So I'm sure Red Bull has someone in the in F2, F3 that they're gonna bring up. So, but the
It
honey
also sucks
badge,
for just for other guys like Liam Lawson, who's just sitting in the like. There's gonna be a lot of guys that are gonna miss out on opportunities and stuff in
yeah,
this situation. I like Danny Rick, and I definitely think he deserves a good spot. It's just I don't know.
yeah. I saw a quote that I don't know if it was real that Nick DeVries said that he was promised the second seat in Red Bull.
Yeah, I
And
think
like,
that's so cap.
yeah, I mean, to say you're gonna take out Checo like that many years in advance, I don't know. To say that you're gonna, I don't know, whatever.
No,
Um, it doesn't even matter at this point because he's gone. So apparently he was already spotted having dinner with Toto Wolff too, Nick DeVries. So
yeah, I think that's just because of the Formula E team, though.
yeah, no, that's probably where he'll go back, right? Formula E.
Most likely, yeah. I can't think of anywhere else.
Maybe they get him into some
Maybe
IndyCar
Indy.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him in IndyCar. Yeah.
Ooh, look at us, same time. Our brains are the same. What are you drinking over there? Is that anything good? Hot chocolate?
Coffee,
No, it's
coffee,
the middle of
coffee.
summer. Coffee with a spoon in it? What do you? Oh, it's stirring.
Yeah, I was just saying that.
Yeah, I'm not a coffee guy, so that's on me for
I
sure.
love coffee. I usually drink it black, but lately I've been pretty lazy.
Okay. Well, I don't think you will need. I'm hoping you won't need coffee to get through the race this weekend. I just did a little weather update. It looks like rain on
Supposed to be
Friday,
rain.
but I think they said Saturday and Sunday should be pretty straightforward. So,
Are you sure? Because it's qualifying Saturday.
yeah.
I heard there's new qualifying rules, and because of the new qualifying rules, I also heard that it was supposed to rain Saturday, so they weren't sure if the qualifying rules were really going to work.
What were the new qualifying rules? Oh, new qualifying
You got to
rules.
run every single compound tire,
Oh, so this is
or
what they were gonna
medium
try.
for. Yeah, they were going to try it in Imola, but Imola
Yeah,
got
yeah.
canceled. So they're doing so. The backup was always Hungary, so they're doing it in Hungary now, and then. But because it's supposed to rain, people aren't sure if they're even going to be able to do it because they're going to have to throw on the wets and the inters.
Um, yeah. maybe so maybe this new qualifying format is like the curse. You know, it literally flooded Imola, and now they want to try it in Hungary, and it brings rain. So maybe this is the universe's way of saying like let's not do your fancy.
I just don't think I don't think it's a bad idea. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You don't think it's a
And
bad
I guess
idea?
if they're doing, I think it's a bad idea. I just
Oh,
think it's way too gimmicky, and it's just like
yeah. I went over it for Imola, and apparently it was their way of trying to reduce The amount of tires that are getting used in a weekend.
Yeah, they
between
want to go from
entrants.
13 to 11, and then they also said it was for testing purposes, which I don't know what they're testing out on these tires at this point. If they're already started testing new tires.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know about that either, but all right, so yeah, we got new qualifying rules as Alex just described. Um, teams are required to use the hard compound during Q1, the medium compound during Q2, and finally they can use the softs during Q3.
It's gonna make things
Which,
interesting
yeah, yeah,
because
if
McLaren might get some crazy hard tire times
yeah,
and not look so good in the softs.
yeah. So explain
And
that to
Mercedes
people.
might be put out.
Yeah, so
Well, like Mercedes has a tendency to run struggle warming up their hard tires, or just tires in general. But the hards are obviously harder to warm up. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get one of the two Mercedes out in Q1 entirely. I don't think it's going to happen, but still could happen. Um, Red Bull is usually pretty good on their tires, but again, it takes a little bit of time to heat up. But they're going to make it into Q3, no problem. McLaren, on the other hand, is going to look really impressive with the hard tire. Obviously, they looked impressive last week or 2 weeks ago when they were racing, a week and a half, whatever it is now. So it's going to definitely throw a wrench in the loop for some teams. But if it rains, none of this matters, and I'm just doing pointless banter,
yeah,
which it
I
looks like it might.
I think at first reaction, if you don't know much, you're like, well, it doesn't make a difference because they're all running the same compound. That was like my very first thoughts. But then, like you said, how they warm up their tires. A lot of times they only run like one lap on a set of softs and then they come in the pits. Now they might be running two to, a warm up lap, not using any battery, but running it fast. Then they may run two hot, two fast laps if the battery allows it. So now we're running. Certain guys might be running with more fuel than others because they're doing multiple laps. So you could see a lot of cool things, a lot of mistakes almost as people are trying to figure out this new format. So I mean, it should be exciting in a way that maybe it shouldn't be if it's gimmicky. But if this is something that they think is gonna go to net, was it net carbon zero they're trying to get to here?
Yeah, it's just like if you really want to do that, first fix the schedule.
Yeah,
It
well, they
makes no
said,
sense to be tracked like they want to.
ooh, ooh, all right, we could do that. Um, so they released the 24 schedule too last week.
Yeah, I saw that. Again, there's time. Like, if you're in the U.S., just stick to the U.S. All right, go to Canada, then go to the U.S., then go to,
Yeah,
I
so
guess, Canada, Vegas, Texas, Miami. Like,
yeah, so some of the
that
big
would make
things
the
though
most sense. And then go
is
down to
that
South America.
the season starts off with two Saturday races, which we
I
never
saw that too.
ever see at all. So that's interesting. Silverstone will be July 7th, and that's the end of a triple header. So we'll have
That's
Spain,
ballsy,
Austria,
especially with
and then Silverstone.
all the Americans too. There's a lot of Americans out to barbecues on
What,
that
on July
weekend.
7th?
Yeah,
Okay,
people are going to be celebrating. It's 4th of July, so it's going to be like everyone's going to be celebrating the Saturday and the Sunday.
that's true. That's true. Um, so now the Azerbaijan, so Baku is in the second half of the season, before the Singapore night race, which I would love to see
We got to
take
get
off.
our graphic designer to try to pronounce that one.
What, Azerbaijan?
Yeah.
Oh no, he. All
Baja
right.
Rain.
Um, the USGP Austin, October 20th, Mexican GP following it, and then Brazil. It's kind of the only part of their schedule that's ever made sense, in my opinion. After a 3-week break, Las Vegas GP on a Saturday night, and then you have
Happy Danny Rick gets to finally, race his dream. Wanted him
dude,
to be in Vegas.
what's better than a clip on the internet of him saying, "I want a
That's
Vegas
great.
race," than him not being in a car at the beginning of the season for the Vegas race and then getting a ride? Like, man,
Dude,
it's
like
just
I
such a
hate
great
I
clip.
hate to be that dude right now, but like they're saying McLaren is pretty much the new Ashton, right? It looks like more like the Ashton, which is pretty much a carbon copy of Red Bull's last year car.
Yeah.
And imagine Danny Rick still in that McLaren right now. He likes the Red Bull design too.
So you think he performs well
I think
in
he'd
this
be doing
McLaren?
better. I don't. I think he'd be doing better. But it's hard to like. Oscar definitely deserves that seat.
Yeah.
And Lord Norris obviously deserves this. But Danny Rick and the McLaren would be fun. I think
Yeah.
he'd be. I think he. he definitely do have some sick overtakes.
Yeah, I agree, and I like where you're going with that too. Um, that is what they are saying is that McLaren is a copy of Red Bull. Aston Martin and McLaren have both um, taken design ideas, and then McLaren came out and said like, oh, you can't just can't just copy these cars exactly. It takes time, and then you got to learn about them. But they are looking a lot like a Red Bull, which is fine. Everyone steals from everyone. It's no big deal.
I mean, with the budget being, as long as nobody goes over with catering again, you're probably gonna have a lot of cars looking the same.
Big food budget. Yeah, imagine if Danny Rick loses like 10 pounds because he doesn't get fed as well over there. All right, so let me read out the calendar. So we got Bahrain and Saudi Arabia back to back, both Saturday nights. You go to Australia, Japan, and China. I think that all makes sense. That clumping kind of makes
Australia,
sense.
Japan, China. Australia, Japan. Yep, yeah, that works.
It's close enough. You
Yeah,
then have.
China's back in the schedule, which is nice to see.
I love that track.
But yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
It looks cute. It looks, and they run it at night, right? Too. It looks dope. If I remember right. Do they run it at night?
They never ran it at night before. Then you have Miami, Imola, and Monaco. So you go from China to Miami and then back to Imola. Imola and Monaco makes sense, right?
That makes sense, yeah.
But the Miami, so you go Miami, then you go Imola, Monaco, and then you go back to Canada. That doesn't.
It's not horrible, I guess, if they go, because they're not gonna fly. They're just gonna fly in the opposite direction to Miami, and Miami's far East Coast.
Yeah, but if you did Miami, Canada, and then went to.
Oh, it should go Canada, Vegas. I guess Canada, Vegas, Austin, Miami, and then Mexico. So we just keep all three in the same country.
Yeah, they're definitely not doing that.
No, they're not. But like, you can also go Vegas, Miami, then Mexico. Like Texas, Mexico just makes so much sense to me. So throw it off on the East Coast like that. I think they literally do it because like they know Americans want to go to these events and stuff, and they can upcharge like crazy. So if you get them all at separate times, or if you get them all at once, like you're gonna get fans who aren't gonna go because like they don't have to. They have to travel 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, they're no dumb.
It's definitely a cash grab. They don't care about the carbon emissions.
So you go from Monaco all back to Canada, then you go Spain, Austria, the UK. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not not smart on my map. I think they're relatively close, right? We're all in Europe.
Yeah. Us Americans suck at geography. Fun fact.
Yeah, so bad. But whatever. And then you go Hungary, Spa, Netherlands.
That kind of makes sense. Hungary to Netherlands makes sense. I don't know where Spa is. Is it? No.
Spa's I think in that direction. Then we go back to Italy. We go to Monza. Now I'm lost at this point. Then you go to Azerbaijan and Singapore, which I'm not sure. This is like the biggest.
That's in Europe somewhere. Yeah. I'm gonna get a world map. I'm gonna get a world map and just put it in the background and figure this out one day. We're gonna have a giant whiteboard. We're just gonna have stickers everywhere
with pins.
Yeah, with the little red stripes like they do in detective movies where they're trying to just pin everything down for the murder mystery. Yeah. And then, but everyone's gonna look at it and think we're trying to discover some serial killer, and little do they know, no, it's just the F1 calendar.
We're just trying to figure out where everyone's going. So after Singapore, you go back. This stretch makes sense. You go Texas, Mexico, Brazil. You go back up to North America to Vegas. And then you got Qatar, which I just played on the F1 video game last night, which is insane. I'm a big fan. And then Abu Dhabi. So, I mean, I think they did better. I think we're going places.
It's definitely cash grabs. It's 100% cash grabs. Is the reason they don't do them so close to each other.
I think you just need to get rid of certain countries having so many races.
America doesn't need three. Get rid of Miami. You definitely want to keep Austin. Get rid of Miami and you keep Austin.
You have to get rid of Monaco, Imola, or Monza, and I really doubt you're getting rid of Monza. So what are one of those other two you're getting rid of?
You know, we both want to say Monaco, but they're not going to, so you got to go Imola.
Yep, I agree. Get rid of Imola. Bring back. Oh my God, what's that track? Is it Germany? The German Grand
No, it's
Prix.
not. Yeah, I forget what it's called. Oh my god, I know it's not the Nürburgring because it's too dangerous. What is it called? It's gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah, we both forget, but that Grand Prix is pretty good. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think it kind of makes sense outside of that. But all right, that's enough of us talking about the schedule and showing you guys how we absolutely don't know where anything is in the whole entire world. Upgrades this week. Red Bull. Did you hear about it, Alex?
Yeah, I heard about it. They're just gonna be. I think they said it's gonna give them 2 tenths, so they'll be
Yep.
like 6 seconds faster than the rest of the grid. Um,
They're gaining 2 tenths, so they'll be 6 seconds faster. Alex, I love the math. That adds up perfectly. Yep, I'm with you.
Listen, it's American time, all right? It's American time.
American time. I like
We
it.
don't convert. We everything conversion wise makes no sense.
No sense. So they're bringing upgrades. Apparently, I don't know if Mercedes is bringing upgrades or they're gonna have a better understanding of their front wing, is what I've been told.
I have a
So
better understanding. Like I think you just got to commit to next year's car at this point.
yeah,
Like, you
possible.
don't really need the money because it's not like they really need the money for the constructors championship because they were spending $400 million before. Now they're down to 150. So it's realistically, just start focusing on next year's car. I feel like.
That's true. That's true. McLaren's bringing more upgrades that both drivers will have, so that's big.
I hope it doesn't
And
fuck them up. Keep
yeah,
them on the podium, man.
well, let's get into that then, because that's all the news that I got. You ready to throw out some picks here?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I don't know who started. What did I
Ooh, I
start? I
actually,
did start last time, right?
hey, I actually dropped the ball. I don't
You don't
have
have a graphic ready.
the gambling. No, I have the graphic ready. I
Oh,
don't
the
have the
gambling
gambling
odds.
odds. That's a major fail. I always have that ready.
I mean, I can Google it, but then I just gotta read it off.
Yeah, we'll skip it this week. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Max Verstappen is the favorite. So,
Alrighty.
all right,
I think I started last time.
I'm resetting our poll in case people want to vote. All right, I'm starting off.
You gotta. We might have to readjust this. Start throwing Lando Norris up there.
Who do you want to take out?
I don't know. I think the obvious choice is Checo, but you can't take out a Red Bull. And then one of the Ferraris. But again, like I feel like Carlos is having a better season than Charles.
All right, so our deal is
Anyway,
if Lando finishes top three again, he goes up in the anyone else. He goes up in the category.
yeah. Who we gotta figure out who to replace. We'll have to discuss that off screen. But yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going Max. Sorry, I have to.
All right, I'm just gonna copy. I'm gonna copy and paste it.
All right, I like it. Um, here
Do you?
here we will start differing here because I'm going to go with the man who I believe owns this track for number two.
Okay, I like it. Mercedes looked too slow to me last week.
So just not that I want to talk you into my picks, but just remember that Mercedes was just as fast as the Red Bull and McLaren through all of the track with the slow corners, and that's all that this track is.
That is true, but they're also very slow on the soft tires, and they keep up with. I mean, it's not a lot of straight lines. It's been tough, man. I want to throw Checo there to be safe, but I don't because like I just feel like he's not going to be there. Give me Lando.
Wow,
Give me
I
Lando,
love
please,
it. He's riding the McLaren train. Choo choo, all aboard. Um, I respect it. I respect it. I'm man,
Oh,
I'm
with
just
another
doubling
Brit.
down. I'm doubling down on Mercedes, baby. We got listen.
You're wild.
This dude put it on pole last year. Pole position. Okay,
that
lap of his life.
that is true. That is true.
And then ran a very
I don't
solid
think
race after that.
I don't think he's pulling pole again.
No, I
but
definitely don't think he's pulling pole, but
yeah, Max is gonna pull up at like 4 seconds at least. Um, So you got George Russell. Wow. Hungary. I don't want to throw Alonso there. I'll go Checo.
Okay.
I'll go Checo.
Making sure Sergio gets in the top five. That's a very solid. It's a very solid
I don't
move.
know. His qualifying times are awful.
Yeah, but he's. I mean, the streak of not qualifying in the Q3 can't last forever, right?
I'd like to think so, but who knows with these new tire regulations?
I go Lando P4.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Lewis P4. So we're
All
flip
right,
flopping here.
making sure my guy gets in the top five. I like it.
Yeah, I'll go top five. Let's see DNF.
So you get one
Which
point there.
props to Mercedes. Have they had? No, George had technical issues this year, right? I think George DNF once.
Um,
I don't
why
remember.
am I going? Why do I want to say yes? Oh well, at Canada after he parked it in the wall.
Oh
Um, I'm going Fernando 5
yeah. Okay.
because I think that car again was good at Canada. Slow speed corners.
That is true. That's where Ferrari struggles.
Yeah, do you put a
This is
Ferrari in the
tough.
top five? What do you do here?
Ferrari struggles in these slow speeds. You have Fernando there. I'm debating between George and Oscar, to be honest. And I feel like these two just always finished like hand in hand. So I'm gonna have to throw George there.
You're gonna have to go George 5. All right.
Yeah, they just always finish right behind each other. It's like Lewis George. They one of them's gonna finish in front of the other. They just like holding hands the entire race.
You know what's funny is that I kind of agree with you, right? Because I got Lewis George 2-3, you got Lewis George 4-5. But also sometimes when two cars are close, it's hard to run a good strategy.
That's true, but
Because
they're not like usually. It's it's usually like George. At least the last few races has been finishing pretty far back. Well, Lewis got saved the last race of the safety car because he
yeah,
probably would have finished behind George.
he definitely would have
But
finished behind George 1000%.
uh, a lot of it's been like George coming through the field. He gets like it seems like off the first lap, he's like godsend. He just takes up, he like overtakes like two or three cars, and then he just sits there in like DRS range of somebody else, and then eventually through pit strategy, Mercedes end up with Lewis and George hand in hand.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how this bad boy goes. Um,
This is you know what sucks? If you take Max out of this entire like equation, like the entire season, this might historically have been one of the greatest seasons.
yeah, has anyone
Because
done
if you
has anyone done the math?
who would be in first place?
Yeah, are we just gonna
It'd
go?
be
Are we
it'd
just
be
gonna go
Checo.
check? Are we just gonna take Max out of the order, right? And just go.
If we were to take Max out of the order, it'd be Checo still. But it's like at the same time, like you'd have to obviously have a second Red Bull somewhere. So like, let's say I don't know, so Danny Rick there instead of Max. But it'd be Checo. But it's just like 1 through 5. At that point, you could still argue because like people could be racing Checo to the finish line.
Yeah,
Nah, maybe not. I don't think so. I still think that Red Bull's still taking too many. It's just too fast. It's straight line speed. Like like if it wasn't for Max, so 1 through 5 would be like flip flopping every week because that constructor's number 2 spot is up for grabs. I know
yeah,
Mercedes is in there now, but it's definitely up for grabs.
yeah. I think Mercedes will consistently pull it out, but it's crazy that we're picking Max Verstappen to win. This will be his seventh win in a row. His seventh win in a row. Um,
He hasn't finished lower than P2.
and and yep, that is accurate. I'm starting to question that this dominance is greater than Hamilton's. Hamilton never dominated like this, in my opinion.
That's true. But Mercedes would always have like 2016. Obviously, it was Lewis and Nico butting heads. That's how Max got his first one, actually.
Hmm.
Um, and then Lewis seemed to like let off the gas too towards the end of the season. Plus, it was like Mercedes got to the point where it was like they would what Lewis complained about earlier in the year, where they would start focusing on next year's car. They didn't really care
Yep.
for the year, so they would get like I don't know constructors. They'd have like 11 wins on the season or something. 12, and 8 of them would be Lewis.
Yeah, And Valtteri would sneak in with a win, or they'd have a little bit of a mechanical issue.
Then you'd get like a surprise here and there. You got
Yeah.
like Checo winning his first race that one time.
Yep. But this is just straight up dominance by Max.
Yeah,
You got to give it to him. We're talking.
No, you do.
Ooh. I really wish I was a Max Verstappen fan. I don't know if you heard about this because I just heard about it today. Did you hear about his iRacing drama?
No, what happened?
All right, so stay with me here because it's kind of tough, and I want to make sure I get it right. So there was another driver, him and another driver, okay? I didn't see the incident, but the post said that he gave the guy as much room as he could, and the guy was not happy about it. So I guess going into turn one, the guy going into turn one at Spa, all right? So you know that sharp right hand?
Yep.
The guy either wrecked Max or pushed Max into his teammate, and Max wrecked his teammate. So then they go up the hill, down the long straightaway. All right, you with me?
Yep, listening.
I want to say that guy's teammate, right? Because they had teammates in this race. Whatever guy that wrecked him is in first. Max is like in, I don't know, 5th or 6th going down the straightaway. Dude, he cuts the chicane. All right, so picture not stopping.
So he just completely high-bombed Max.
No. So this is Max. So I think Max got pushed into his teammate, wrecked his teammate, and so now Max knows that the other guy's teammate is leading the race. So he cuts the chicane. He comes out second behind the teammate, and then dive bombs him and wrecks him in the next corner, and gets disqualified for retaliation. But this dude just does not care. I love this. It's like a stupid video game. He's like, if you wrecked my teammate, I'm wrecking you. I love it. I gotta be honest. I love it so much. Reading that story was the best thing.
Like, I think he's so loved by like old-fashioned fans because of like he really is just a guy who just cares about driving.
Yeah.
And even outside of F1, like I don't think I realistically wouldn't be surprised if Max doesn't break Lewis's records, but only because he doesn't want to, not because he's incapable of doing so.
Yeah.
I think he will break his win total record only because there's 20 plus races a year now.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Max doesn't get to 7 championships. But even then, he'll go to Le Mans. He'll go to Indy. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in some rally racing. Like he will do everything. And like the guy's just a racer. He just loves to race. He loves to compete. Period. I heard he's nasty at FIFA.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't think he does anything but race. If it's sim racing or which he's been quoted saying he likes more, or if it's regular real racing. He's real close with Fernando. I feel like because they're just always constantly talking about.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, that's why those two always they're always correlated together, like Fernando and Max.
Yeah. So
2 hotheads, aggressive driving.
Max Verstappen wrecking people though in iRacing as payback, which is absolutely nuts, and I respect it. All right, short stream this week. Obviously, after technical difficulties, some stuff is just a nightmare, out of our control here. We haven't had this technical issue in like the last 3 or 4 weeks. We've been like really good. I thought I figured out the trick.
I mean, to go glass half full again. We didn't seem to have internet issues for me today, so there's that. I didn't lag out halfway through the stream.
You're the worst. You're right. I have like a dropped frame thing down here that shows me. Mm-hmm. We've had 0 dropped frames. The last 2 weeks we've had so badly dropped frames that the stream is disconnected like twice apparently, and automatically reconnects. So you're right, Alex. On the bright side, our internet is good. All right.
And I came a little prepared this week. After I got lectured.
Let's go! Let's go! Alex brought a joke. Thank God. Now the stream is good. All right. Let me hear it.
All right. What's the easiest way to get into F1 as a racer? Nothing?
Daddy's
Not
money?
even a guess?
Daddy's money?
Close. You stroll right in there with Daddy's money.
Oh, shoot! Did you make that one up?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, shoot.
That was all that, dude. That took like 3 days.
Okay.
3 days.
So let me tell you something. Daddy's money, not funny. You stroll right in there with Daddy's money. That's the joke, brother. I like it. So the question is, do we post it, go viral, but then
Oh, no.
Lance Stroll's a mortal enemy of ours, or do we just let our five
I'd be
viewers
fine
enjoy
with
it?
that.
What's that?
I'd be fine with that. It's up to you.
Yeah, until one day you want to buy a house, and the next thing you know, it gets sold out, and then you go to buy another one, and it gets sold, and it's honestly just Lance Stroll's father just buying every house that you're interested in and
If he's
bankrupting
that
you.
petty and he notices me off that one thing, congratulations to me. I'll be a homeless man who pissed off Lance Stroll.
Oh man, I'll be a homeless man. Oh man, that was a good joke. I like that. Okay, so your job is the jokes going forward. Okay, I
Oh,
know
okay,
you.
let's not do that. You got to take some responsibility for this too.
Excuse me. Don't even go after
Excuse
what the
me.
behind the scenes work is over here. Okay. Oh my gosh. Listen, I'll just say you have to bring jokes, but they don't have to be. They don't have to be like racing or you created them. All right. So you can go online and find some funny jokes, but you got to bring jokes.
Alrighty.
Because this show was awful until that joke, I think, was the best part about it. So,
I don't think it was horrible. A little bit of banter. It wasn't horrible.
oh god, the technical issues really bummed me out.
Yeah, you gotta stop letting that get to you the entire stream. Yeah.
Yeah, well. All right, Alex. You locked in on the race this weekend? You got stuff going on? What are you doing?
I should be locked and Friday I got that, Saturday I got that. What time is the race Sunday?
So that schedule is always on my phone, which now my phone is now recording the stream. So I have to look right now as I look it
What?
up. It tells me that it's 9 a.m.
Okay, I should be able to watch the race then if it's Eastern Standard Time. 'Cause I got a concert later in the day.
Whoa, concert. As I'm looking, yes, my time 9 a.m. At the track time, it is 3 p.m. But qualifying is at 10 on Saturday. What concert
I
are you
can
going
watch
to?
qualifying. Post.
You going to Posty
Yeah,
in
kind of got
Massachusetts?
No, it's in Xfinity.
Who are you going with?
I'm going
Who you
with that
going
group.
with?
Yeah,
Yeah.
our editor and
Our
co
editors,
and
our
co.
graphic designers going?
Sorry, editor. Our graphic designer. Our graphic designer.
What?
Co. Yeah, yeah, it was like pulling teeth to convince him to go. I wasn't gonna go, but like, because I just didn't want to spend that much money for lawn seats.
Yeah.
Um,
Why? What are
he was
lawn seats?
going, and
What
a
are
few other
lawn
friends are
seats
going.
now?
I think I spent like $100 after fees,
Oh
which
my
is
gosh.
ridiculous.
I'm sure everyone listening lives in Connecticut, so knows that the XL Center is like one of those. Is it technically an amphitheater, or is it because it's not whatever? You have seats that are
Yeah,
covered, and then you have a giant lawn section, which like those seats should normally be like 20, 25 bucks because they're not seats.
yeah,
You're
he's just like,
standing or sitting on a
yeah.
hill.
I think the most I paid in the past was like 50, $60, and that's after fees and everything.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I was not
$100 for
happy,
lawn
but
seats for
I
Posty.
said no for a while. I did it to myself though because they were like $75 or something, and I just kept on saying no, kept on saying no, kept on saying no. Then at our friend Michelle's wedding, I decided to finally pull the trigger. I
Is
was like,
he?
they talked me into it.
Is he got a new
No, he's
album?
not going.
No, no.
Posty, I have no idea to be honest. I got to start listening to his music before I go to the concert. At least have an idea what the heck is going on. Because I heard Stoney is great, Beer Bongs and Bentley is great, and then I think after that he kind of just like it was okay after that.
Yeah.
And I haven't listened to too much of his music after that. Well, I'm
There's
gonna
no.
have to give it a listen.
There's nothing like that week of like, oh shoot, I need to cram all this music in. Like,
Well, I have time at work. I usually listen to podcasts and like music at work all day. So
you're gonna hope he plays some of the old bangers. So
I'm assuming he will. I'm sure Congratulations will be on there. Rockstar and some other
what
things
was
here and there.
what was the one? Why am I drunk? What was the one he did like at the racetrack with like Denny Hamlin and all those guys?
It might have been feeling. Was it an acoustic song, or was it a cover? You know,
No, it
was
was
it?
Motley Crue.
Oh, Motley Crue, yeah. The
Yeah,
dude's
he did.
talented. I gotta give him credit. He loves his music and stuff, and he goes out. He has like a grungy style to him too.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
it's fun to
kind of
listen to. It's just like
kind of looks
I
like
just
he
haven't
doesn't
listened to him much.
take care of himself and just
Yeah.
does a lot of bad stuff. But
But
oh well. All right, so you got a concert? Yeah, 9 a.m. You should. What time's it? When's the concert? Saturday or Sunday?
I have to look. I had the time, but I'm assuming I can watch it. The race is 2.5 hours, 2 hours, so
Concert
I should be
is
done
on
by
Sunday.
11:30. Yeah, it's on Sunday. It's on Sunday. There we
Oh,
go.
Sunday concert's gonna
Yeah, I'm not
suck.
looking forward to that. I kind of wish I took Monday off, but it is what it is.
I know
And
they have
a
to.
lot of
I know they have to book dates, but man, Friday, Saturday night concerts are where it's at. Sunday concert, you're just thinking about work the next
yeah, I
day.
know, but it's like it's Connecticut. Who really wants to like try to go on a banger in Connecticut?
Very true. Very true. Yeah, no, 9, 10, 11. Even if you guys go tailgate, you should
I've had some
definitely be
fun
good.
bangers though. Like oh, somebody opened up in Connecticut. I think Michigan Kelly opened up in Connecticut. No, he closed in Connecticut. Somebody opened up in Connecticut. It
Machine
might have been
Kelly.
Logic. It might have been. Yeah, he closed in Connecticut. His oh my god, Tickets to My Downfall album. It was in Mohegan.
Yeah.
Was it Mohegan? I think it was Mohegan. Yeah, that was fun. Um, I saw Logic, G-Eazy, and I forget who the opening act was. That was actually like I expected that concert to be corny. I actually had a lot of fun at that concert.
Mm.
Um, the most disappointing concert I've been to was a Day to Remember. That one really broke my heart. To seeing them live, the guy just didn't seem like he really cared.
That's some white people music that I don't know.
A Day to Remember, I love a Day to Remember. You've definitely heard them. If I were to show you like one of the songs, I've heard them in a movie or something.
ADTR for short, right? Isn't that like
Yeah, ADTR. Yeah,
yeah?
they have that
Uh,
acoustic song where it was la 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 nothing.
no.
Yeah,
Took you
I'll show you
took
one day.
took
You
you
definitely know.
took you 3 weeks to get a joke, but here you are singing on stream. Apparently, I'm asking you to do the wrong things. Okay. Alex will be performing a whole musical for us next week.
Say less, bro. High School Musical. Got it on
Oh,
right off the dome.
I got that. I got that in the bag with you too, right? Every word.
Let's go.
I
We
still
got to do the
sing it.
choreography too.
I still sing it. Poor Brooke. I'll pull out Breaking Free in the kitchen, and she is when she know she. I think she knows the beat even before I'm so red comes on, and she just starts rolling her eyes so much. Oh man, that
Come
is
on, she's got to join in. She hasn't watched the movie.
no. She no. She's not a fan of that. Yeah, that like wasn't her musical, so she's like
Yeah,
not a fan.
what does Brooke listen to for music?
Oh no, she listens to everything, but that musical's not her. Like
Does
everyone
she
has their
does
musicals.
she leave, does she listen to Wheezy F Baby?
Oh, of course she listens to Weezy F Baby. A lot of country lately though.
A lot of
Um,
country. All
and her
right,
playlist has a lot of EDM for workout. I've learned.
that makes sense. I could definitely
Yeah,
see you guys doing that. Yeah,
yeah, high,
high energy.
high
Yeah,
BPMs, right? As we're doing
yeah.
that. Kind of the opposite of
Oh,
Charles Leclerc's music. I don't. Did you hear any of that?
yeah. I heard some of it. Yeah, I was like taken aback. That threw me for a loop for sure.
Yeah. And Lewis Hamilton like produces and does stuff with songs, right?
Yeah, he does. He's all about that Archie stuff
Yeah,
in general.
artsy stuff. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Oh man, I'm so pumped right now. High School Musical.
I
You've
remember
totally turned the show
who
around.
was it George? I think they did a lie detector on George, and they asked, "Does Lewis have good style?" And he was like, "Yeah, I think so." And I was like, "I mean, I can respect it. That's his style, but I wouldn't call that good. I would never be seen. I'm completely convinced that high fashion is literally just a social experiment to see how far people are willing to go to spend their money on stupid shit.
Yeah, I very rarely ever see an outfit that Lewis Hamilton's wearing, and I'm like, yeah, let me get that.
Maybe some of his bucket hats, but that's about it.
I actually don't like even the Mercedes stuff that he like co-signs. Like he's like, this is the Lewis Hamilton design. It's like so bright and flashy. I think
I
Mercedes
like
just
bright and flashy. I like that highlighter hat he always wears.
oh
The
yeah no
highlighter. I
thank you.
love it.
Mercedes posted like a stealth collection this week, and I was like, ooh, maybe I should check that out. Like low key, that's where I like to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not living in that lane that Lewis Hamilton's living in. All right, brother. Well, we got Hungary this week. We'll be back next Monday with hopefully a show with less technical difficulties to start. We'll get to go over our picks here. We'll go. I'll just read through it one more time. Alex is going with Max, Lando, Checo, Lewis, and George, and I'm going with Max, Lewis, George, Lando, and Fernando. So that's what we got going on.
Should be a fun weekend.
Should be a fun weekend. Oh man, you really got me. You really got my brain going about the qualifying in the rain. Like maybe seriously, maybe this just isn't meant to be. Keeps getting rained out.
I mean, I gotta double check the weather, but I could have sworn I saw everybody saying like it's gonna be in the rain, but I don't know.
Yeah, I thought I saw opposite. But who? I mean, honestly though, we could still. It's what is it? Monday. We're reading stuff about Saturday or
Yeah,
Sunday. That could definitely change.
it definitely change. Yeah,
If anything's unpredictable, it's the weather. Listen, a lot of people gotta give our prayers to. Man, there's a lot of flooding going on, dude.
yeah, there's a lot of rain.
Yeah, around we're from Connecticut. A lot of flooding
We
near
get a lot
us,
of rain too.
in the
Yeah,
states near us, and yeah, that's not good. We want everyone to be safe. We want everyone to be able to relax on their Sundays and watch racing, and not have to wet shop back out their houses. So be safe
yeah,
out there, people.
yes,
Um,
sir.
you got anything else?
Uh, that's it.
All right, brother. Monday at 5:30. I'll see you.
Yes, sir.
All
Deuces.
right. Doses. All right. All right. All things racing. I'm going to tell you NASCAR. If you don't know, they got postponed until today, and Martin Truex won that race. I didn't get to watch it because it was noon and I was a little bit busy. But a lot of racing that I did watch. World of Outlaws raced. They raced a lot this week. So Tuesday, they raced in Attica Raceway Park in Ohio. I think I've been one time. It's a pretty cool track. I'd like to make it out there again. But Kyle Larson wins that race. Man, I love to see Kyle win races. If it's not, our guy DG, love to see it be Kyle. And then they raced at Eldora for $1 million. There was a preliminary night on Wednesday, and then racing on Thursday was the $1 million race. Those results aren't in front of me because it wasn't a World of Outlaw race. It was part of the High Limit Series. But Logan Schuchart wins that $1 million. Big money coming in. They continued racing there night before the King's Royal on Friday. Winner is Carson Macedo. As I pull up the rest of the results, Sweet second, Selzy third, Rico fourth, David fifth from 15th, Justin Peck sixth, Sheldon seventh, Spencer Basin eighth, McFadden ninth, and Brent Marks 10th. Marks, who's normally fast at Eldora when it comes to money races, he showed up on Saturday, but not good enough. Donnie Schatz wins, I believe for like his sixth time. I think he's won the King's Royal. Brent Marks from 11th to 2nd. Big move there. Our guy DG finishes 3rd. Sheldon finishes 4th. Larson 5th. Rico 6th. McFadden 7th. Carson 8th. Casey K 9th. And then Buddy Kofoid starts 10th. Our guy David Gravel finishes top 5, I believe, every night at Eldora. Yeah, definitely. My man likes the money, and he was upset he did not win any of those races. But all those top 5s are not bad, and he leaves Ohio with the points lead. So that is a big deal here. And as I look up, they got a nice little Pennsylvania stretch this week. They're at BAPS on Wednesday in Pennsylvania, and then they're at the Grove Friday and Saturday. And then next weekend they're at Weedsport, which I will be at, me and my old man, which is exciting. Big racing, big money coming up in the world of Outlaws. And that is honestly pretty much all I got for you up in New York this week. So wasn't watching too much racing. So again, technical difficulties bringing me down to start the show, and I apologize about that. I appreciate you guys for hanging in there with us, though.